Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What's up, everybody? Big Herc Prison Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Got a lot of good stuff coming up with Fresh Out, Life After the Penitentiary. Tell your friends and family to subscribe if they haven't subscribed. Check out our Instagram and our Twitter, which is also FreshOutSeries, along with our SoundCloud and our Patreon. Anyways, had another question from one of our viewers. Somebody was asking about early termination of parole or probation. Is it possible? It's very possible, and a lot of people are getting off of probation and parole early. Now the thing is, a lot of times your probation officer won't tell you that you have action at getting off early because they want to see how long they can keep you on before you fuck up. But if you ain't fucking up, there's no need for you to stay on. So you can actually petition the court for early termination. And I'm not really sure of the actual number of the motion or the code for the motion that you would file, but you can research it in your state or in whatever, if you were in feds, research the federal code, and you can actually file for early termination of parole or probation. And usually you have to give the parole probation a roughly, I think a year and a half clean, maybe 2 years, and you can file. Now, if you have a gun charge, I know I had a gun charge, so they wouldn't let me terminate early, but after about 2 years of probation, I didn't really have a lot of issues with my probation officer. He was real cool. But if you don't have a gun charge, I think if it's just drugs or embezzlement or money laundering, something like that, if you have just your basic nonviolent felony, you can petition the court and you can get off early. And what that does is allow you to now maneuver a lot easier without having to check in to your probation officer. You don't have to, without having to deal with all the bullshit, because the average probation or parole is roughly about 5 years. And nobody wants to be on paper for 5 years. The sooner you get off paper, the sooner you can start making money, the sooner you can start supporting your family and doing something positive with yourself. So go to your you can go to your local library, which should have some type of legal references there, or you can talk to an attorney and they can probably advise you on what you need to file. But there definitely is a way for you to get off early. So don't be sitting around and just doing your parole or probation because you think you have to. If you're not getting in trouble, you're not pissing dirty, you're not doing any stupid shit, go and file. Get off that shit and basically get your life going again. And that way you ain't got to worry about looking over your shoulder, worrying about getting pulled over and having to report to an officer that you're on parole or probation. Because as soon as you terminate that shit, you don't have to say shit. So, hey, get on top of it, research. And there is information out there. Like I said, you could probably look online and Google early termination and they can tell you the codes for your state or the federal code needed to file that motion. And they might even have a template for a motion online. And filing a motion is not as complicated as you think. Most likely you got to make, I believe, 2 copies for the court. You send a copy to the district attorney and you keep a copy. And it doesn't take long for a judge to basically rule on your petition. So get on top of it, man. Get off that paperwork and get your life back together because there's no need for you to sit around and let these people control your life.